On today's episode of Titus and Tate, it has been a little over a week since most of this country got their first glance at Victor Wembanyama, Tate. We got our first look at what this man has to offer on a basketball court. And already, a little after a week after seeing him, already people are asking, is this man overrated?
I think he is.
The backlash has come.
I think he's officially overrated, and I'm over him already, one weekend.
The excitement period has already, I don't know. It's been a fascinating week and a half. We'll put it that way.
We asked when the tipping point was, and boy, did it come early.
It came quick. I think at one point when I started seeing everyone arguing that he might be a better prospect than LeBron James, that's when I was like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and hit the button and say,
stop this. Let's wait a second.
Let's calm down. Also, the fastest releasing of the tapes maybe in the history of mankind happened. As last show we did on Thursday, I demanded that the Warriors release the tapes with this Draymond Green Jordan Poole fight. I did so under the assumption, as I do every time I demand a releasing of the tapes, that the tapes would not actually be released.
Yes.
Some 12 hours later, the tape was released, and
to everybody.
Yeah.
And apparently it was sold for under $10,000, which is the biggest upset in history. True? Yeah, that was what it was reported. It was less than $10,000 is what they leaked the video for. Yeah.
Oh my God. That is
should have been 100,000.
That's like
should have been six figures.
Yeah,
it should be your salary. Whoever
put that guy on the list
video.
with the home run catchers who like give it back to the team, you know, for a signed jersey. As far as like guys who got swindled by
who blew the bag,
who fumbled the bag, the bag fumblers.
Let's do a Hall of Fame of that.
Also, let's talk about some guys who didn't fumble the bag. Tate. Nike has signed DJ Wagner and Bronny James to NIL deals. That sound you hear is Milt Wagner packing up his office as we speak at Louisville, because I think the dream might be dead with DJ Wagner to Louisville.
He walked into the meeting and then walked right out this morning.
Yeah,
so I'll see you guys later.
That is tough. Also today, a long-awaited return of Andy Katz on the program. We love having Andy on. It is always a treat to have a man who can break it all down for us. What is he breaking down? We don't know. We never really know.
The dynamics of what's happening in college basketball from every conference's vantage point, because Andy is in with he's basically the ultimate insider.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we brought Andy Katz on, talked to him for about a half an hour. That was a fun conversation just to get him back into the fold, because he is it's nice. We a lot of people think that you and I are maybe, I don't know, we're too big of jackasses sometimes. So it's nice to have a real adult show up on the program and
remind people that he respects this jackassery and that he's going to have fun with us.
All that coming up, but first,
Woody Durham.
All right, should we start with the Nike news, the news that broke today? This is this the most interesting thing to you? DJ Wagner, Bronny, who else was it? Caitlin Clark?
Yeah, it was five basketball players that were signed to Nike NIL deals, which was when the NIL stuff came out last summer, everyone was like, well, now these brands and sponsors, we said on the show, they're going to sign these players, but we hadn't seen that yet, and this is the first time. So it's Bronny James, Caitlin Clark, Haley Jones, DJ Wagner, and Judea Watkins are the five.
Okay, so yeah, you're absolutely right. When the NIL rules went into place, I think everyone's first thought was like, this is going to be sick to see Bryce Young doing a Ford commercial.
Yes.
And to see Bronny James signed with Nike, and then like the actual deals that were being reported were like
Benny's Pizza Place. Yes. Come buy 10 pizzas, get one free.
Big Bob's Mulching Company.
Yes, literally.
And it's like
AC
the left tackle,
companies.
the starting left tackle is getting like $50 every time he tweet. Which is we're happy for those deals. That's cool, but it wasn't exactly sending shockwaves throughout the sports world like we thought. And the big deals were always the ones and not that this is going to send shockwaves, but we'll talk about it. But like the deals of a guy signing with Nike were to me the most interesting, because there was the hypothetical, Tate, of what if a guy on Kansas wants to sign with Nike? What if say DJ Wagner was already at Louisville and Nike approached him with a life-changing amount of money and was like, we want to sign you. And as it currently stands, the way my understanding of the rules, and the rules change every week, so who the hell knows if my understanding is correct. But if DJ Wagner was, say, enrolled in Louisville and Nike approached him, he would have to, per the current model, turn that down, because Louisville has a Adidas partnership, which is going to then upset a lot of people who have been clamoring for these kids to make money in the first place. Now they're kind of calmed down a little bit. But then a situation like that arises, the pitchforks are back out, the torches are back out, and we're upset again. So guys in high school like Bronny James, there was one of his teammates, right? The Sierra Canyon kid? Did I get that right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Having 2 kids in high school and DJ Wagner, 3 of them, I guess, sign with Nike when they haven't yet committed to a school is, again, I don't think it's sending shockwaves, but it's like the first, like, oh, this is something. This is, it's interesting to see how there's a precedent that's going to be set with whatever happens with these 3 guys.
And it used to be like the brands were the bags, so you would basically get a bag to go play on a circuit. So you would be a Nike kid, you'd be an Under Armour kid, you'd be an Adidas kid, but it was all under the radar and usually through, as you know, through an AAU team that
Right.
is basically the middleman between the brand and the kids themselves. But now, middleman cut out. We go straight to the kid. We sign a Nike deal. I think it's even more fascinating to say you're an Under Armour kid or playing on the Under Armour circuit, or like Zion playing on the Adidas circuit,
and then take the Nike bag.
and then you take the Nike bag. But it used to be all under wraps as to like who's paying who to go where. But now this is in our face, and now you know that DJ Wagner's a Nike kid, so he's going to go to a Nike school. Bronny's a Nike kid. He's going to go to a Nike school. And that is the most forward-facing we've ever seen these brands be, because grassroots basketball is where the chaos ensues.
Let me be devil's advocate here. Do we know that DJ Wagner is going to Nike school? We have to. I mean, of course.
It would be, now that he is in a contract, yes.
He has to.
If he was playing on the Nike circuit, then it's not a guarantee. That doesn't mean he's necessarily going to go to a Nike
Didn't he already sign
school.
with like a Nike subsidiary? We talked about this already.
Yeah.
Right? Like he signed with
Rock
that was a
Nation or
little
whatever.
that was a little fuzzier. This is more direct that he's, I don't know, because I
this
think,
is as direct as it can be. Nike is signing him. He is a Nike athlete. Do you think Nike is going to allow a Nike athlete to go play at an Adidas school or an Under Armour school? No.
But I agree with you. I'm talking on both sides of my mouth. I'm just trying to.
No, I know. Devil's advocate.
That's
what the devil
with you.
does. He's like, devil's in the details. He's like, well, how do you know this? I'm like, it's so facto. Nike school.
Just for the sake of a more interesting podcast, I'm going to disagree with you.
Yeah.
What if there is a world in which one of these guys, and it doesn't like Bronny it's 10 million% of Nike. Like that one's even, like that one is. I'm not even saying that because of Ohio State. It's just like his
dad has a building.
Yeah.
On the Nike
Bronny was always going to Nike school. But what if it's not DJ Wagner, maybe it's the next kid coming up, a world where these guys purposely subvert. Like that's part of the plan. Is you're a Nike kid, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna send you to Kansas, Adidas' #1 school, and then we're going to
you're gonna wear
sabotage
Nike
from within inside the program where you're wearing Nike shoes every game, and you start this whole new national conversation where you come out for your first game wearing Nikes, and everyone's losing their mind, and Kansas is telling you to change, and it's on camera. Bill Self's pointing his finger at you, saying, "Get over here, change out of those." And that's all, it's all over Twitter. Now everyone's talking about that. What if that's Nike's plan? I don't know. I'm just trying to find a silver lining for Louisville fans.
It definitely could be something like that. It reminds me of, remember the student athlete doc that they made at HBO, and Nick Richards was in it, and his high school coach at St. Patrick's.
That's right.
Had the moment where
that exact thing happened.
He came out with, I think, Adidas shoes or Under Armour shoes, and they're in Nike school. So he was like, take off those stupid shoes and go put on the right shoes. And I think now, like, those grassroots issues are now in college basketball, right? Like we've jumped up to the next level of the same problem, and now it's more corporate. Now it's more in your face. But Caitlin Clark is at Iowa, Nike school. Haley Jones is at Stanford, Nike school. So if you want to say like 2 of the 5 are already at Nike properties, the other 3 are all probably going to end up at Nike properties. But like you said, there could be, if there was a Victor Wembanyama, right, and he got signed to Nike, but then he says, I want to go to Adidas because I really like Joel Embiid, and that's where I want to go to school or whatever.
Yeah.
There could be a world in which he wears Nike stuff everywhere else but the court. And he covers up the Adidas patch like he's Michael Jordan.
Like Jordan with the
the
Olympics.
That's the world that we could live in. Like, we might even see it with Amani Bates this year, right? Amani Bates is at an Adidas school, and he might cover up the Adidas on his jersey. Or James Harden. I don't know if you see what James Harden does. He cuts out the Nike on all the warm-up stuff. Like, for the Sixers, he just cuts out the check. So it's just like a ripped hole in the shirt. It looks ridiculous.
Does he really?
Yeah, he cuts it out.
I didn't know that.
Because he's an Adidas guy. So he's like, I cut out the Nike, so I'm never in Nike stuff. So, I think there's a world in which we have those same issues, but it's in college.
I think that's the next groundbreaking moment for name, image, likeness stuff.
Yes.
Is the kid that signed with a different shoe company than his school is.
And I think the shoe company that will do this, like what you're saying, send him in as like a mission, is Puma. I think Puma will sign a guy. I'm not even kidding. I think Puma's going to sign a guy that they think is a top flight recruit, and they're going to send him to Kansas or Carolina or whatever, and they're going to be like, you got him, but guess what he wears?
Yeah.
Puma. Strictly Puma.
I could see that.
Puma is the brand to
Puma
do
had
that.
like a, was it 28? Like they signed Ayton, but then did they sign Bagley too?
They have LaMelo. I mean,
They have LaMelo?
They have LaMelo Ball. I mean, that's the big
didn't
one
know
right
that.
now. Yeah, they have the Melo ones. Go check them out.
But they took their big swing. It was the 2018 draft,
Yes,
right? With
they were
Ayton
signing
and
everybody.
They were signing everybody. They were
Bagley,
going crazy.
all those guys.
Um,
Not Luka though. The one guy they should have signed. Jordan Brand's like, yeah, we'll take him.
the one guy who probably wore a ton of Puma already.
He had Puma tracksuits.
He's wearing Puma tracksuit,
Smoking a cigarette.
ripping Marlboros.
He was like, I like Puma.
Puma's like, no, we don't want you, dude.
Yeah.
You look kind of fat. We don't want you.
We want in-shape athletic freaks. But no, I'm serious. You're right. That actually is like, if I was a brand, if we're Sonny Vaccaro and you're at whatever that position is at one of these brands, that's a great idea. It's to basically send someone in, a player that is committed to your brand, to then blow up the other
No,
brand.
yeah. I don't. The thing is, Nike's the number one. Nike has the biggest market share and all that.
course.
So I don't think Nike is going to be. Sorry, Louisville fans. I don't think Nike's going to be the one to do this first. It is going to be like a Puma or an Under Armour, or I don't think Adidas needs to do it either. But
I don't think so, but they would. You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like they would catch
Unless-
wind that Puma's doing it. and then they
maybe
might do it.
Maybe Nike listened to the podcast we did a little while back, where I made the case that they are currently, the empire's crumbling.
Yeah, you
and
said
they're a little desperate.
Yeah, you said they're Rome.
Yeah.
Called them
This
Rome.
is the Roman Empire crumbling before our eyes, and maybe they're going to be a little desperate. But no, this is devastating news for Louisville fans, I think.
But if you're
But
Louisville,
you can spin it. And you
yeah.
can spin it. You can
Uh,
find
here-
a way. I
here's
just don't
how
know what
you-
it is yet.
Well, here's how you spin it. DJ Wagner is not Scoot Henderson, right? He is not. I don't think
Yes.
he's quite that guy. So I think you maybe even dodged a bullet by having someone that's the quote unquote savior that might not necessarily have the.
You did the
savior
same with Amani
qualities.
Bates. You
Yes.
thought you were getting Amani Bates this
Mhm.
summer. You did not.
Mhm.
He went to Eastern Michigan, dodged a bullet. So maybe that's Louisville's new brand. Is like you just always tweet about all the bullets you dodged if you're a Louisville fan.
If I'm a
You
Louisville
see the
fan-
announcement, you're like, quote tweet, dodge that bullet. Thank God.
Yeah, dodge
Prayer
that
hands.
bullet. Or I'm coming out and saying that Amani Bates taught me that a Nike kid could go to an Adidas school, as we saw. So like Amani Bates actually gives hope to the idea that DJ Wagner will go and play for his grandpa, who hopefully has not packed up his office. Hopefully,
That's what I'm really worried
hopefully
about.
Milt's in the back, and he's like trying to hold down the fort. You know, he's trying to call and make sure everything's good, and then DeJuan Wagner's not answering because he works at Kentucky.
Yeah, how is Milt Wagner handling this? Is fascinating. I would give anything to have a hidden camera in his office right now.
Yes.
Do you think he's just playing the oblivious, just like whistling into work and just like waving at everybody?
I think he's playing nice guy cards.
He's just like, hey, and
Yeah.
waving at the secretary, and he goes and sits, and he just pretending like there's not fires all around him and everything.
Yes, this is fine.
Yeah.
That's him in his office. And then I think when he gets to his car every day that he's not fired and his key card still works, he sits down and he just takes like a deep breath. And he's like, you did it again, buddy. You live to fight another day. Hey there, thanks for watching Titus and Tate. For the full friend of the program experience, subscribe right below and come join us for all things college basketball. The action is heating up. Come join Titus and Tate.